The Out of Bounds Show is powered by the award-winning golf courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Good morning. Welcome in. It's game day. Dogs and Rebs. Game 4. Pearl, Mississippi. Mississippi Braves ballpark. M Braves. Should be packed tonight. Weather's clearing out. Looks good. And exciting time. I can't ever remember this team playing 4 times in a row. May have happened. But I don't ever remember while I've been on radio, which is a long time and too long for many people. This is the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The show is brought to you by Maroon & Company, maroonandco.com. And that's where you go to get the best Hail State gear, including the M over S hats and pullovers and shirts. The promo code for you in-store and online is BowBounds15. Code is good for 15% off entire purchase. Discounts cannot be combined, and some exclusions may apply. See store for details. We welcome in Chris Lemonis, Hail State baseball coach, on the Corona Premier Guest Line. Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing well. So what's the approach and message after a huge weekend? The momentum swings back and forth. Your club was able to take 2 of 3 in a hostile environment, and then you turn around and play them again tonight. Oh, and they happen to be your in-state rival.
Yeah, and I think we're trying to reschedule for this weekend, too, so we can play them in Starkville. So that'd be a good series, right? Like, it's just we got to come out and play. We're so focused on us right now. We know it's a big rivalry, and our kids played so hard this weekend. It's kind of a weird scenario playing somebody 4 times, but we got to come out and just be focused on us playing good baseball. And it'll be a fun night. It's always a fun night. It means a lot to our fan base. It means a lot to their fan base. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Tell us, I know he's pitched. I've watched him pitch, but tell our listeners about Mikey Tepper and what he could bring to the table for your club today.
Well, we need a good start, just something to stabilize us and get us out of the gate. I mean, he's a 3-pitch guy, and he's got a chance to throw. He could be low to mid-90s, with a good breaking ball and a changeup. And, he's been a starter most of his life. We used him as a bullpen guy, so we figured, hey, let's give him a chance, kind of like we did with Parker earlier in the year. And so we'll see how it goes. I think everybody's a little short on pitching after the way that weekend went with all the offense and extra inning games, and then conference play is so big right now. We have to be smart so that we're ready to go at Missouri this week. And
you're already thin, so I would have to believe there have been several conversations with you and Foxhall and all kinds of stuff drawn up on the whiteboard. How has that been the last 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of know what we got, so we need, we've talked about it. We need a bullpen guy to be, get us through a tough part of the game, and that it's going to be interesting. That'll be a big piece, but it is what it is right now. We don't get to make trades or go to the minor league.
No transfer portal right now. Chris Lemonis on the Out of Bounds Show,
right.
ESPN 105.9 The Zone. He joins us on the Corona Premier Guest Line. They'll play tonight. Braves Ballpark in Pearl. Should be packed. Great atmosphere. And 4th time in a row in less than a week, they'll play the Ole Miss Rebels. Talk about Casey Hunt. How proud and excited were you of his performances over the weekend against Ole Miss?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, even the first night he came in to get the first save, he probably didn't have his best stuff. But, we have to ride him out, and he just, he got us to the finish line. And then, we came back the next day, and he's just like, Coach, I feel fine. I want to pitch. If we get in that situation, just give me the ball. And it was good to hear, and he was huge. I mean, he was huge for us in that game. And he's just getting better. We missed him for about 30 games. So it's a really talented older player who's a tough-minded kid. So it was nice to have him back out there.
I thought that this may sound crazy, but I thought Preston Johnson could have been your MVP over the weekend. When you start off giving up back-to-back home runs, and that young man's got the charisma and the moxie in a hostile environment to get it together and then go eat up a bunch of innings for you and pitch really well. What did you see, Coach?
Yeah, same thing. Just the ability, the maturity to keep pitching. And some of our young kids, we talked about it as a group, just our young kids, need to watch that and see that it's, that's how you fight through. And I mean, like you said, we may get swept if he doesn't do what he did, because we just don't have a bullpen or whatever to withstand that. And he had to go out there and just keep pitching, and we end up winning that game. And then it leaves us with a good pitching staff for Sunday or Saturday.
Yeah. Hunter Hines, how's he doing?
He's good. He's good. He's, he's enjoying college baseball right now. I hope he's studying enough. So, but he's enjoying, playing, and he's, had a good weekend last weekend, and we're looking forward to, seeing him play out there tonight.
Brad Cumbest is really hitting his stride. You talked to us last year about, splitting time, and that's difficult for any college athlete, darn near impossible. And now that he's had the opportunity to focus on it and what he's done, the last few weeks, what have you and Gotro seen from him as far as his approach at the plate? And then obviously his production has been outstanding.
Yeah, I think a lot's just confidence. It's, the funny thing is, year to year, like as the spring went on, he played better. Even last year, he didn't play a lot early, and then as the spring went along, he's just getting better. I'd like to say it's because he didn't play football in the fall, but the reality was he, had shoulder surgery. He didn't really do a lot of baseball in the fall. So it's really not a huge difference. I just think it's that he's 21 years old, and, he's been around, he's done it, and he's learning from it, and he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. The home run was big because he had a couple tough at-bats on Saturday before it. And, like I tell people, he never sits and worries about what happened in the past. He is so into the moment type of kid that, he's up there and he gets a really big swing off for us.
Yeah. It looks like Logan Tanner may be turning the corner at the plate.
I hope so. He was really good this weekend. So we know how talented he is, and he's had a little bit of ups and downs this year, but he was really good this past weekend.
Yeah.
And nobody, and then just he catches at such a high level. It's a special player.
When you were visiting with Chris Lemonis, Hail State baseball coach, on the Corona Premier guest line, and you're listening to Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. So what's the schedule? When do y'all jump on the bus and drive down to Pearl today?
Yeah, we head out about 12:30 or 1, and we'll hit. We're the early hit team, so we'll be there early and get our hitting in and be ready to go, and then from there. Just hang around and wait for the crowd to get there. So it'll be a lot of fun. But we got, they're in class right now, so they're student athletes, and so they'll finish up class, head over here, grab a box lunch, and we'll be ready to roll.
Blake, you have a question for Coach Lemonis?
Yeah, Coach. Bo mentioned this with Preston Johnson and giving up the 3 home runs in the first inning and then another home run in the second. And we talked about this with Kyle Peterson. There were 60 hits over the weekend between the two teams and 17 home runs. There were also 71 strikeouts, and I thought the Preston Johnson start was so indicative of what I see in the MLB in today's game, which is aces will go out there and give up 3 home runs in a start, and they'll still win. And so how has the game changed for you as a coach and a game manager in understanding that the long ball isn't the game killer that maybe it was 10 years ago to pitchers, and that you kind of have to pitch through home runs and you have to hit through strikeouts?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's a big piece. I mean, it is what it is in the game today. And, solo home runs don't beat you. 3-run home runs like we gave up in the first game, they beat you. And so, the one positive is when you give up 3 in a row, nobody's on base after the first one. So, but, yeah, and the strikeout is big too. He got in there and got in the strikeout groove and actually punched out a handful of guys as he got going. But it's just a different game, and it's why it's hard to bunt sometimes right now. We had the Jaeger at bat on Saturday. We talked about bunting, and we ended up letting it hit, and you hit a 2-run home run. I mean, it's serious. We were sitting out in the I said, do we bunt here? And it's a small ballpark, and the wind's blowing straight out. It's just, the risk-reward right there is tough in the game. So, but I'm glad we let him hit away. So.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap it up. I know you're busy. 2 things. That Kellum Clark catch on the wall, because you can get – it's not like your players play in that park. I mean, it's every other year, and I don't even think Kellum's played in that park. But you can get lost out there. There's a lot of people. Talk about that play where he tracked that ball down on the wall and the bases were loaded.
Yeah, it was a big play, especially for a kid who's been an outfielder for about 5 months, right? So he he's just getting better every day, and that's been an area that he's really had to work on, is going to his right and getting in the gap. So I thought he did a great job. He's a real, he's a big kid, but he's really athletic, and so when he gets moving, he can cover a lot of ground, and he did on that play.
Man, I was watching on TV, and I thought that was a hell of a play out there, considering everything that was going on. All right, we'll wrap it up with this, Coach, and we appreciate your time on game day. What's your message to your team? I mean, y'all are playing better. You got a lot of work to do. You have a tough opponent tonight, and then, bam, you go on the road. What's your message to your team today as y'all march down the stretch?
Like I told them yesterday, and our message over the last probably month or 2 or 3 weeks is just, man, we got to be the toughest team on the field, and we just got to play through everything. Because in our situation with our bullpen and everything, there's just some innings that get away from us, and we can't put our head down and feel sorry for ourselves or anything like that. We have to be so focused and so locked in. And we've played well over the last couple of weeks. I'm happy how we're playing. But they just got to keep, they just got to put their nose to the grindstone and not look ahead or worry about what happened in the past. And we're going there just to play good baseball tonight. I know that's a very simple coach speak thing, but it's very true with our guys. Is we just got to stay locked in on what's in front of us, and we're going to go up there and compete. That's probably the biggest thing. So
we'll leave it there. Chris Lemonis, Hail State baseball coach, on the Corona Premier Guest Line. We appreciate your time today. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Have a good day. See you up there.
All right. Tonight, Pearl, Mississippi, Dogs Rebs, game number 4. That's weird to say. I've been doing this thing for 18 years, I think, and I can't ever remember this happening. We had the Mayor's Cup forever at Smith Wills, got moved over to the Governor's Cup in Pearl, which was the right way to go because that ballpark is amazing. And I hope you understand that, all of you who live in the metro area. I love you. But it is an unbelievable venue and facility.
Yep.
And we're very fortunate to have it. And so it's going to be fun. It's going to be packed. Rebs want to win. Dogs want to win. And we march down the stretch with Mikey Tepper and Drew McDaniel for the Ole Miss Rebels. That segment was brought to you by Maroon & Company. That's where you go to get all your Hail State baseball gear. M/S. And, yes, I just posted some really cool hats that they have at Maroon & Company on my Facebook page. I'll do it on our Out of Bounds Facebook page, too. It's maroonandco.com, the word and, maroonandco.com. Promo code BowBounds15, BowBounds15 for 15% off. And that's online, so you can order it right now for your son, daughter, you, your husband, wife. Maroonandco.com, BowBounds15, 15% off your entire purchase. Discounts cannot be combined, and some exclusions may apply. See store for details. Maroonandco.com, promo code BowBounds15. That's in-store and online. And in Starkville, it is right behind the Chick-fil-A, which is right by campus. Blake says that he could hit a 3-wood right to campus from the top of Maroon & Company.
Yeah.
Maroonandco.com.
It'd take me multiple swings, but I could get it. You're wearing a Maroon & Co. hat, aren't you? Isn't that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You can watch it on
Stark Vegas.
You can watch it on the YouTubes or the Facebook pages.
And so I threw out some. They replicated kind of Miller Lite, Coors Light Fireball hats, but Stark Vegas.
Yeah,
and
like
they're really. It's on my personal Bow Bounds page, but I'm going to put it on Instagram at Bow_Bounds, and we'll also throw it up on. We'll throw it out on the Twitters. But we really want you to lock in. Just put it in your iPhone notes or Google Notes. BowBounds15, online, in-store. Maroonandco.com. Great group. Love working with them. And we're excited that they are on the show and a new partner. And they've got all kinds of M/S stuff and other things. You can get tumblers and all sorts of stuff.
All the accessories.
Game day accessories.
Yeah, that's right.
Maroonandco.com. So, wanted to let you Lemonis was kind enough to join us on game day.
Yeah.
Didn't want to keep him too long. He's busy. They're locked in. I mean, they're trying to figure this thing out down the stretch. tonight's game is not an SEC game, but it's still a game that you really need to win.
Yes.
And then you got to try to find a way to 14, we think. 14 wins. You got 8. You got 12 games left. And that's if you don't lose a game. This has happened before to Rain.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. Blake referenced Vanderbilt's amazing
2013, yeah.
run, and they played 29 SEC games.
Yep.
I think he said they were 26-3 or something.
They were.
So you don't want to lose a game if you're Mississippi State. And, and then Ole Miss wants to counter their in-state rival and put on the gloves tonight and, take them out.
2-2 with the win in the Governor's Cup for the first time since 15 feels a lot better than 1-3.
No doubt.
I mean, just is what it is.
And then the two teams get on a plane. Ole Miss plays at Arkansas, Mississippi State at Missouri.
That's right. Do you expect a full house tonight, given where we are with both programs, the kind of just what's going on?
It may not be quite, but it is still going to be packed.
Mm-hmm.
It's too big a game, and the weather looks amazing. It looks like this weather got out of here. The weather is perfect.
Yeah.
It's a great ballpark. Not everybody gets to go to Duty Noble and Swayze.
Very true.
It's a great place for kids to watch big-time players like Jacob Gonzalez and Hunter Hines.
You ready to call a winner?
Hunter Hines is a hometown guy.
That's right. Madison.
Yeah.
That's right. And
Ole Miss and MSU have Riley Maddox. I don't know if he's okayed or not. Did they announce that? That didn't look good.
I've not seen
that
anything
looked like
out of that.
Landon Sims walking off the mound. Yeah, and you hate to see that. He's from Jackson Prep. Yeah. And there's several other ties.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kellum Clark played at Brandon and JA, and the list goes on and on of kids in the metro area on these two clubs. It's not surprising as the suburbs boomed and more money has been generated in Madison and Rankin County that we have better travel ball. It's not hard to connect.
Hunter.
We started talking about that on this show 12 years ago. Everybody else followed.
Yeah. Hunter Hines has 13 home runs this year. That's tied for 32nd in the country, but it's second in the country for freshmen behind just
the dude that's got 17.
NC State's freshman. He's got 18 now. He must have added one. Tommy White. He hit one this morning. He woke up and just hit one.
Good gravy.
Yeah, Tommy White, the freshman for NC State, has hit 18. But, I mean, Hunter Hines, Mississippi State's 4th in the country in home runs. I don't remember ever saying that in my lifetime for a Mississippi State baseball team.
When Raffy and Will were there, and maybe even prior to that with Castoria, and they may have had some muscle teams in the 80 after 80. They went 12 seasons somehow without going to the CWS between 85 and 97.
Yikes.
I mean, they had big power numbers with Raffy and Will. I think, Thigpen threw in some. I'm sure they had some other guys I'm not remembering, Castoria, so on. You're right, though. Ole Miss turned into the muscle home run program under McDonald and Bianco. And then Lemonis said that's what he was going to do, and he damn sure has. And Kyle Peterson told us yesterday, he said, look, I was down on the field. MSU's big. Well, when you look at Cumbus and Hunter Hines and Logan Tanner and Kellum Clark and Cam James, and RJ is not small for a second baseman, and then Hancock is stubby. Really, the only small dude is Forsythe. Yeah. And so when you flip that from kind of the teams that Cohen was putting together,
absolutely,
there's been a transformation as far as big. Now, Canizero went and got big boys like Westberg and Foskey and others too.
Justin Foskey is the best Major League Baseball looking body I've seen at Mississippi State since I've been old enough to understand what pro scouts look for. Even better than Rooker and Renfro. Justin Foskey was built exactly like a baseball player is supposed to be built.
I spent about 20 minutes with him the first weekend of the season.
He's insane.
First of all, he's a super nice young man, but you can tell he's got some mangum and all that stuff. He's very, very bright, very inquisitive. As we were sitting there talking about life and minor league baseball and Mississippi State and all that. How about this? When you talk, I'm talking to him. I'm a lot older than him. He's wise beyond his. I felt like I was talking to a 30-year-old.
It's kind of like when we talked to Drew Waters.
Yes,
Drew Waters came off the same way.
Yeah,
you're just like, how are you 20?
Yeah,
what?
And the young man we had in last week with the Braves.
Yeah,
very
Luckbauer.
Impressed.
Yeah, Drew Luckbauer.
Yeah,
from Michigan.
Yeah,
Michigan man.
He talked about how hard it is to push the ball out of the Mississippi Braves ballpark.
It is so hard.
Watch that. We just went through a series where the ball was launched out of the ballpark.
And how many balls were called at the wall?
I mean, I
between
didn't
the
think
two
R.J. Yeager's swing was a home run swing.
No.
I'm not taking anything away from Yeager. I know the Yeager bombs have been fun and the kid can hit for power. But when you saw him swing and the way, I thought, that's not, whoa.
He got his hands inside that baseball so well. Incredible.
And so Swayze has been one that has, let's just be, I mean, it's padded some of their guys' numbers over the years.
I feel you with that, yeah. Especially
not that they haven't had wonderful players, but when we really got caught up with Ole Miss baseball and we were really trying to wrap our brain around it, and they joined the party so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so by 02-03, but when that 04, 05, 06 run was magnificent, the ball was flying out of the ballpark.
Yep.
Mississippi State couldn't hit to second and then hit again in Duty Noble and hit it out on a tee. And how things have changed because Mississippi State, Ole Miss has been a power team for a long time. MSU countered their big moments over the weekend, which is not something that was the first, because of COVID and all that, and Lemonis finally's getting his squad put together because there's been so much transition between Cohen, Canizero, and Lemonis.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time you saw a power on power.
Yeah.
I mean, it was another bomb, another bomb. And those things at Swayze, they get out by 20 and 30 and 40 feet.
It used to feel like for Mississippi State, it was a death by 1,000 cuts approach against Ole Miss. Because Ole Miss was the 3-run bomb team.
They were, and Mississippi State hit, you felt like from about 01 to this year, maybe
last year,
that they hit 9,000 balls to the warning track.
Yes,
at Duty
I'd agree with that.
Or when they were playing someone else.
And it did help when they rebuilt
I know
Duty.
they brought it in a little bit. It made more hitter-friendly
for sure
than what McMahon and Cohen were dealing with.
For sure, yeah. That helped a little bit.
I'm sorry, McMahon, Polk, too, and Cohen.
But even what you saw this year, and they're now 7th after the weekend they dropped. There's 75 home runs, right? Tennessee's at 93. That's dumb. And then there's a couple teams ahead of them.
Are they trending the other way, though, since their bats got looked at, or is that just scuttlebutt nonsense?
I think that's they've lost like 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean like wins losses, just not as much. Like I saw a 3-0 game and a 3. I just wonder if even if it's an average of a run, 1.8 runs per game down. I don't know.
Well, I also think they were playing at such an elite level. How do you do that for 60 games? You can't swing a baseball bat like that for 60 games.
Okay, fair enough.
Like ask any best baseball player ever doesn't hit like that for a whole year.
No.
So, but Mississippi State,
except
like you. Well, that's true. Lemonis is doing it. He's flipping the script on Mississippi State baseball.
Oh, absolutely. Hunter Hines, yeah, no doubt. Logan Tanner, Brad Cumbus. They're not the little dirt bags anymore. The Out of Bounds show was brought to you by Two Brothers Smoked Meats in Starkville, Mississippi. Also, the show is brought to you by Corner Market Grocery Stores, the official grocery store of the Out of Bounds show. Corner Market in Belhaven, Fondren, and Northside Drive. Stock up your fridge and freezer at Corner Market and fuel up at Fleetway Market before heading out to the Mississippi Braves Stadium to watch the Dogs and the Rebs tonight. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. See you.